Look around you. Mediocrity is everywhere. It's celebrated, it's normalized, it's disguised as balance. But let me be crystal clear, mediocrity is a trap, and it's built to keep you weak, broke, confused, and obedient. You were not born to be average. But the system trains you to accept average as the standard. School teaches you to obey. Social media teaches you to compare. Friends teach you to settle. And comfort teaches you to sit still and rot. Emo gauge. The first step to rising is this: you must hate mediocrity with every fiber of your being. Not dislike it, not tolerate it, hate it. Because until you get disgusted with where you are, you'll never move with the force needed to get where you're meant to be. Don't wait for motivation. That's weak. Motivation is a luxury. You don't need motivation. You need discipline. You need routine. You need a non-negotiable schedule that respects your goals and destroys your excuses. You think life is hard. It's supposed to be. You think success is unfair. It is. You think nobody's coming to save you. Good. That means it's our responsibility now. Own it. Every missed opportunity, every wasted hour, every failed attempt. Own them all, then build from the ashes. You have 24 hours like everyone else. Some people use them to build legacies. Others waste them on scrolling, sleeping, doubting. Which one are you? If you're not tracking your time, planning your moves, executing your goals, then what exactly are you doing? Success is about control. Control of your habits, control of your emotions, control of your schedule, control of your mind. Without control, you're a slave to your impulses, to your distractions, to your weaknesses. You want freedom. Earn it. You want power. Work for it. You want results. Sacrifice for them. And if you're not willing to sacrifice, be ready to suffer, because life doesn't reward softness. Right now, while you listen to this, someone out there is grinding, building, improving, learning, moving. Not thinking, doing. That's who wins. Not the smartest, not the luckiest. The one who executes daily, consistently, relentlessly, without apology. This is not the time to be average. This is not the season to settle. This is your life, your shot. So wake up, stand up, lock in, take control. No more mediocrity. The rise begins now. No. Mediocrity is not just a condition. It's a slow, burning infection that seeps into every area of life if left unchecked. It starts subtly. One missed workout, one extra hour of sleep, one excuse, one "I'll do it tomorrow." Before you know it, the average mindset becomes your default operating system. You stop aiming higher, not because you're incapable, but because you become comfortable being less than you could be. That's how mediocrity wins, not through force, but through silence, through inaction, through delay. And the worst part, it's contagious. You surround yourself with people who've accepted the bare minimum as their ceiling, and suddenly your vision shrinks to match theirs. You start mirroring their behaviors. You start justifying failure with the same language they use. You say things like, "At least I tried," or "I'm doing better than most." But here's the truth. Comparing yourself to broken systems and failed mindsets is the fastest way to destroy your potential. The world won't hand you excellence. It won't reward you for existing. It only pays those who demand more from themselves than anyone else expects. If your standards are average, your life will reflect that. Average income, average health, average mindset, average legacy. The pain of staying mediocre must outweigh the discomfort of changing. And yes, change is uncomfortable. It forces you to wake up earlier, to study while others relax, to train while others sleep, to build while others talk. But it's in that pain where greatness is born. Every successful individual you've ever admired made a decision that they would never, under any condition, settle for average. They didn't want the same routines, the same fears, the same patterns that everyone else accepted. They wanted dominance, clarity, power, and that doesn't come from thinking like everyone else. Look around you. Society praises mediocrity. It calls laziness self-care. It calls giving up mental health. It labels effort as toxic hustle culture. But none of these ideas build empires. None of them create impact. They build weakness, entitlement, and confusion. The minute you start rejecting these lies and holding yourself to a brutal, honest standard, That's when your life transforms. It's not about being better than others. It's about being better than who you were yesterday. It's about setting a bar so high that others feel uncomfortable just being around you. That's how you become a leader. That's how you influence. Not by playing down your ambition, but by unleashing it so unapologetically that mediocrity runs from you. And remember, the enemy doesn't look like failure. The enemy looks like comfort. It's the moment when you say, I've done enough. That's where dreams die. The winners, they say, what's next? If you want more from life, more freedom, more respect, more success, you must kill mediocrity every single day. You must starve it with your discipline and suffocate it with your actions. There is no neutral. You're either rising or rotting. Choose to rise. Not next week, not tomorrow, now. Because once you allow mediocrity to make a home in your life, it takes everything with it. Your confidence, your vision, your power, refuse it. Fight it. Replace it with elite habits, elite focus, and elite standards. That's the only way out. That's the only way up. Comfort is a drug. It feels good. It's easy, it's soft, familiar, and it tells you everything's fine when deep down, you know it's not. Comfort lies to you. It convinces you that staying still is safer than moving forward. It whispers that you've done enough, even when you've barely scratched the surface of your potential. But here's the brutal truth: comfort is the enemy of growth. Nothing exceptional ever came from a comfortable place. The strongest minds, the sharpest bodies, the richest lives, they're all built in the fire, not the fluff. Growth demands friction. It demands sacrifice. It demands that you look at your soft habits, your lazy thinking, and your average decisions and destroy them. You can't grow by clinging to comfort. You grow by stretching yourself so far that your old self breaks apart. That's when the new version of you is forced to rise. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you trade long-term success for short-term pleasure. You give up purpose for ease. And the worst part is that comfort rewards you with nothing but regret. It's a cheap high with a brutal crash. Look at anyone who's deeply unhappy with their life and trace back their choices. Almost every time, it's a pattern of choosing comfort over character, skipping the workout, quitting too early, avoiding the hard conversation, delaying the decision, saying, I'll start tomorrow. But growth doesn't wait for your comfort. It's waiting on the other side of discomfort. It's found in cold mornings, long nights, painful lessons, and relentless discipline. It's built in the reps you don't want to do, the hours you don't want to work, and the truths you don't want to hear. You don't get stronger by doing what feels good. You get stronger by doing what's necessary. Stop trying to feel good all the time. You're not here to chase feelings. You're here to chase greatness. And greatness is built when you're tired, sore, broken, and still moving forward. Comfort won't remind you of who you could be. Discomfort will. That's why winners seek it. They chase it. They manufacture it when life doesn't provide it. They understand that comfort will steal your edge, but discomfort sharpens it. Every challenge, every obstacle, every failure, they don't fear it. They feed on it. Because they know the man or woman who suffers the most intentionally wins the most eventually. If you're serious about taking control of your life, you need to develop a hunger for hard things. You need to look at a challenge and say, good, bring it. You need to crave the burn that comes with betterment. Every time you choose the uncomfortable path, whether it's waking up earlier, speaking the truth, sacrificing now for a bigger future, you become more. You expand, you elevate, and most importantly, you separate. Because most people won't do it. Most people fold when things get hard. That's your advantage. That's your edge. Use it. Comfort is a cage dressed like a couch. And every second you sit in it, your strength withers. Rise up, get uncomfortable, and grow like your life depends on it, because it does. Discipline is not optional. It's the foundation of everything you say you want. It's not glamorous. It's not exciting. But it is the most powerful tool you will ever own. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are weak. They come and go like the wind. One day you feel like grinding, the next you don't. That's the trap. If you rely on motivation, you'll be inconsistent. And inconsistency is the killer of results. Discipline, on the other hand, is a decision. It's a system. It's doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like it. When it's raining, when you're tired, when no one's watching. That's when discipline is tested. That's when success is built. You think high achievers wake up every morning thrilled to train, work, or sacrifice? No, but they do it anyway. Why? Because they made a non-negotiable contract with themselves. They understand that if they obey their feelings, they lose control. But if they obey their standards, they gain power. Discipline isn't about being robotic. It's about being loyal to your future. Every time you show up when you don't feel like it, you're building mental armor. You're forging a version of yourself that's unstoppable, unshakable, and uncommon. Discipline turns average men into warriors. It turns chaos into clarity. It turns talkers into executors. Look around you. People are distracted, soft, addicted to comfort, driven by impulse. That's not strength, that's weakness dressed in dopamine. Discipline is the antidote. It sharpens your focus. It organizes your life. It separates you from the masses. And the best part, it compounds. One day of discipline becomes a week becomes a month becomes momentum, and that momentum becomes identity. You no longer have to force it, it becomes who you are. But it starts with a choice, a hard one, a lonely one, a quiet one. There's no crowd cheering for discipline. There's no applause when you say no to pleasure and yes to progress. But those silent victories, they shape your destiny. Discipline is also brutal honesty. It's calling yourself out when you slip. It's refusing to make excuses. It's holding the line no matter what's going on around you. The world will always offer you a way out. Sleep in, skip the reps, procrastinate, give up. Discipline shuts that down. Discipline says, I don't care how I feel. I have work to do. That mindset alone puts you in the top 1% because most people fold at the first sign of resistance. They start strong, but they never finish. You finish, you execute, you rise because you trained yourself to. Discipline is the difference between wishing and winning, between trying and achieving, between existing and dominating. Build it, protect it, live by it. Because without it, you're just another person with potential that will never be realized. You are either in control of your mind or your mind is in control of you. There is no middle ground. Most people live in mental slavery without even realizing it. They wake up and instantly check their phone. Their thoughts are hijacked by noise, by comparison, by fear, by doubt, by distraction. They're being programmed. By media, by weak opinions, by failure-based narratives. Their minds are not their own. They are reactive instead of proactive. But if you want power, real power, it begins in the mind. The battlefield is internal. Your ability to focus, to decide, to believe, to push, to endure. It all starts up there. If your mind is weak, nothing else matters. You can have the best strategy, the best tools, the best opportunities, but if your mindset isn't locked in, you'll self-sabotage every time. Mastering your mind means becoming a relentless gatekeeper of your thoughts. You don't let negative self-talk stay for even a second. You intercept weakness before it becomes action. You override fear with preparation. You don't wait to feel confident. You decide to act confidently. That's control. That's mental dominance. It's not about pretending everything is fine. It's about facing reality and still choosing to win. You must train your mind to see setbacks as setups, to treat pain as fuel, and to interpret every obstacle as a test you were born to pass. This kind of thinking doesn't come naturally, it's earned. It's earned by doing hard things, by facing rejection, by walking alone, by choosing discipline when you're surrounded by distraction. The most dangerous person in the room is the one who's mastered his own mind. He doesn't react emotionally, he doesn't panic, he doesn't chase attention. He moves with purpose, he speaks with clarity, he executes with precision. While others drown in doubt, he rises in certainty. While others talk about what they're going to do, he's already done it. That level of mental control is rare, but it's possible for anyone who wants it bad enough. But wanting is not enough, you must train. every day, not just when it's easy, not just when you're in the mood. You train when it's boring. You train when you're tired. You train when life is slapping you in the face. Because that's when real control is forged, in the chaos, not the comfort. You must also be ruthless about what you feed your mind. Cut out the noise. Cut out the victimhood. Cut out the self-pity. Protect your energy like your life depends on it. Because it does. Read what sharpens you. Listen to what empowers you. Speak words that reinforce your mission. Every thought is either a weapon or a weakness. Choose wisely. Control your thoughts, control your emotions, control your responses, and you control your results. This is not motivational fluff. This is mental warfare. You want to win in business, in fitness, in relationships. Start with the war inside your head. Silence the noise. Take the wheel. Program your own mind before someone else does. That's how you rise above average. That's how you dominate life. Time is the most unforgiving currency in existence. You don't get to save it. You don't get to pause it. You don't get to trade it back. Every second that passes is a second closer to your final breath. And most people live like they've got forever. They waste hours scrolling, talking nonsense, avoiding the grind, giving energy to distractions that have no return on investment. They say, someday, maybe, when I feel ready. But someday is not on the calendar. There's no date called maybe. And ready is a lie comfort tells you, so you never start. If you knew how little time you truly have, you'd stop playing small. You'd stop putting off what you know needs to be done. You'd stop entertaining the life you hate just because it's familiar. Understand this: every day you procrastinate, someone else is executing. While you sleep in, someone is building. While you delay, someone is deciding. While you hesitate, someone is dominating. That's not to make you feel bad, it's to wake you up. You're not unlucky. You're undisciplined with your time. You don't need more hours in a day. You need to stop wasting the ones you already have. The truth is, you don't have time to be lazy. You don't have time to be average. You don't have time to live like you're guaranteed tomorrow. You either take control of your time or life will control you. And life doesn't care about your dreams. It cares about your decisions. Time is also the greatest equalizer. Everyone gets the same 24 hours. What separates the elite from the ordinary is how those hours are used. Are you building skills or binging shows? Are you executing a plan or making excuses? Are you getting sharper or softer? Look at your schedule, and it will tell you exactly who you're becoming. Don't talk about goals. Audit your time. That will show you if you're serious or just playing, because time never lies, and it never waits. Every goal you've set, every vision you have, every future you want, it's all being decided right now in how you spend your minutes. Stop saying you don't have time. Say, it's not a priority, and feel the truth hit. Then change it. People who value time move different. They're not available for nonsense. They don't do drama. They don't hang around losers. They cut distractions. They protect their mornings. They respect their evenings. They know that time is not just ticking, it's running out. So they show up every day like it matters, because it does. You want a better life. Start by mastering your hours. Get aggressive about your schedule. Cut the noise. Build a routine that forces you to grow. Get rid of time thieves. You know who and what they are. No more wasting days you can't get back. Time is either your weapon or your weakness. If you respect it, it will reward you with progress. If you abuse it, it will punish you with regret. Your future is not determined by your circumstances. It's determined by your choices. The most powerful thing you will ever realize is that you are not stuck unless you choose to be. Excuses are easy, they're everywhere. People blame the economy, their family, their past, their environment. But all of that is noise. It's comfortable to blame something else because if it's someone else's fault, then you don't have to change. But the truth is brutal. Your life is your responsibility. No one is coming to save you. No one owes you success. No one is going to hand you a better future. If you want change, you create it. If you want results, you earn them. The world doesn't reward intention. It rewards execution. And execution starts the moment you stop giving your power away. Taking responsibility doesn't mean everything is your fault, but it means everything is your problem. You don't get to choose what life throws at you, but you do get to choose how you respond. Winners take ownership of everything. If the team loses, they own it. If the business fails, they own it. If their habits slip, they own it. Because the moment you take full responsibility, you take full control. You stop waiting. You stop wishing. You start acting. That shift in mindset is what separates the elite from the average. Most people look for someone to blame. High performers look for a way to fix it. It's not about guilt, it's about power. Responsibility is the foundation of freedom. When you stop outsourcing blame, you start reclaiming your ability to create change. People underestimate how dangerous victim mentality is. It feels safe. It feels justified, but it's a mental prison. It keeps you small. It keeps you reactive. It makes you a passenger in your own story. You can't rise while you're focused on what's unfair. You can't build while you're stuck in self-pity. Life will test you. Guaranteed. You will face betrayal, failure, loss, hardship. That's not unique to you. That's part of the game. But the way you handle it, that's where greatness is formed. You either fold or you fortify, either run or you rise. And rising starts with saying, this is on me. I'm responsible for my outcome, no matter what. That kind of responsibility isn't easy. It's not popular, but it's powerful. It means you own your time. You own your mindset. You own your growth. You don't wait for opportunities. You create them. You don't hope for change. You become it. You set the standard. You lead by example. And when you mess up, and you will, you don't hide. You don't blame. You learn, you adapt, and you keep going. That's how leaders are built. That's how legacies are made. Not by having a perfect past, but by taking radical ownership of the present. When you accept full responsibility, excuses die. And when excuses die, potential wakes up.